Hey, what's up? I just got home from work. Oh, I just noticed a thing. Here, let's fix that. There we go. What's up? I just got home from work. It's snowing. It's very light snow, but the streets are covered. The car streets have already been like plowed or whatever, I guess. Um, but they're already lightly like covered in snow again, But I could tell when I was riding home that the streets were already cleared. It's funny, man. I love the snow. It's the only good memory I have before we left Ohio. When we left my dad when I was 4 years old, and the one thing I can always picture and remember and miss ever since was the snow. I love snow. It's beautiful. Um, I'm not a fan of how freezing cold. I'm looking at my audio. The audio levels are way too high, and I'm like, it's not supposed to be high. Windows update again. Probably. I guess I lowered the audio a little bit. I'm gonna lower it again. I'm just doing. It's flashing at me, and I'm just like, ugh. All right. Anyways, audio. Leave the audio here. Hopefully, it's fine. I was gonna test it, but I was like, it should be good. Anyways, so I rode my bike, my e-bike, in the snow. Um, you know, did think about the battery. Don't want it to get soaking wet, but it's not like it got like a couple droplets of wetness on it. It's not blizzarding or anything. But anyways, this is incredible, man. It's so funny. Yeah, it gets freezing cold. It was actually colder on my way to work than it was on the way to home, and it wasn't snowing when I went to work. But the reason I this is something I've noticed while living here is it's just colder in like the early AM. It's really weird. Um, for whatever reason, like between like 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. is the coldest time of day where I live. That's what I've noticed. It's always the coldest then. And the reason I've noticed that is because I used to go to work like really early in the morning, around 3 to 4, depending on what time I started, but it's usually the same. But I would, I'm going to work. Been going to work a while back. I was starting at like 3 a.m. because I was walking, so it took me longer. um, but I've noticed since because I would go to work and be freezing freaking cold really early in the morning, and then I'd come home and be warm, and I'd be like, really that much of a difference in temperature from a few hours? Like, are you kidding me? That is annoying. That's really annoying. But anyway, no, it was 16 degrees Fahrenheit, which is -9 C. Um, when I went to work. So one problem I've been having right now in the past few days going to work in the cold now. My first time riding in the winter on the bike is my hands are freezing freaking cold when I get to work. I'm wearing two gloves, still not enough. Not at that temperature, man. So I actually ordered a new thing for my bike. They're like handlebar covers, and they're supposed to like help your hands with wind, like keeping them from getting wind or whatever. So I'm gonna try that out. They're called pogies. I was looking stuff up for like freezing cold weather yesterday. I saw a lot of videos, a lot of stuff. I was expecting to find like a really good pair of gloves. I was even thinking about getting like electric heated gloves and whatever. They're pricey, but I was like, you know what? I need it, like, But according to a lot of reviews, even the heated ones can't withstand like freezing cold weather, like 10 to 20 degrees and stuff Fahrenheit. So I was like, damn, that's weird. That's really weird. And I still want to try it. But anyways, I came across something called pogies, and I was like, all right, I'll try that first. I'll try that first because it's meant to, keep your fingers from getting like the wind blasting on them, and that's the main thing. Because just I'm not going super fast, but it's fast enough to have my fingers get pounded on by wind, right? And it's the only part. My fingers, just the fingers, not even like the palm, not just the fingers get freezing freaking cold. Um, Anyways, so that was just a part of that. But yeah, man, I love the snow. I love it. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad it's snowing too. Because last year it snowed like once, and then it was like freezing cold for 3 months. Probably what's gonna happen this time as well. I hope not. I hope it snows lightly a little more. Our first year here, we got like at least 6 inches. It might have been 9 inches of snow. I forget, but it was at least 6 inches. Like we were covered. That was cool. Um, for some people, that's probably mild, But yeah, having lived in California most of my life, I love this. And it's funny because I was at work and my boss had noticed. I looked out, I could see, I was like, I couldn't see the snow because I couldn't see the ground, but I could see like the air, right? The air was really misty, really like gray white. And I was like, oh, that looks like snow weather. But I've seen that before in the sky many times when it's just cold out, right? Like it kind of gets gray and white, but it doesn't snow. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting because it looks like it's gonna snow. And that was just for my first year here. I noticed that when the sky gets like that, it gets like really like just full of gray and white, and it usually snows. That was my first year. But so I was looking out and I didn't see snow. I couldn't see because it was light. It was really light snow, and I couldn't see it until I went over like to look out and really get a look. And then I was like, oh, it's sprinkling basically, right? But it's snow. But now my boss was like, oh, it's snowing. He was all upset about it. And I just smile. I'm just smiling, dude. I'm like, yeah. Everybody hates the snow here. It's so funny. I can understand that. When people are used to it, they live in it, and they don't like the weather, right? The temperatures and stuff. But I love the snow, man. It's so beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. I've always loved it. Always loved the snow, man. We went into the mountains a couple times when I was really young when we were in California. Rarely it would snow up in the mountains. We went up there a couple times when I was young to go play in the snow and stuff, just to go see it and whatever. And that was cool. Anyway, so I just wanted to share my experience. I didn't even mean to say all that. I was just going to talk about my bike. It was really nice to ride the bike. Really, oh my gosh, the tires on it are really nice. Traction is solid so far. I was a little worried. I could tell. I mean, these are off-road tires. It's it's not meant to be like an off-road bike kind of a thing, but the tires are. I'm sure they have a word and a name and whatever, but you can tell just by looking at them. You can tell by looking at them, like, oh, this is gonna have some nice grip and whatever. Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. My main concern ever since I was thinking about this, like I might have to ride to work and then in like snow and stuff. My main concern, not just the cold, but because like I wouldn't do it without the bike. When I was thinking about this, I was like, I'm not gonna be walking to work in that. There's just no way. I was gonna be calling in sick a lot, or I was gonna tell him you don't schedule me because I'm not gonna walk to work. It's an hour walk, almost an hour walk, about 45 minutes. And I was like, nah, I ain't walking to work in 16-degree weather, you know. But the bike is cool, man. Yeah, so that's fun. I one of my coworkers was the same way. She was like, "Oh, it's snowing," and I was like, "It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so pretty." And she's like, "All right, well, enjoy your ride home." And I was like, "I'm going to," and I did. I didn't. I was slightly worried, just temp-wise, temperature, and mostly for my fingers, because I'm telling you, early in the morning, the past few days, when I have to wait until I get that thing delivered to me, but the past few days, when I get to work, by the time I get to work, my fingers are in pain, like pain, and I'm like, I'm trying, man. Today I got freaking hand warmers. My sister got these for me a while back, like in our first year here. My hands are cold at work. They don't put the heater on for the employees pretty much, or they just, that's weird, whatever. But I couldn't get these to fit inside with both my gloves or anything. You're not supposed to either. You're not like supposed to squeeze these on your hand with like with tight gloves and whatever. But my fingers were so just in so much pain. I was like, all right, I'll try it, you know, right? So that didn't work, but I had them on me when I got to work. In my pocket, and at least I was able to warm my hands up quickly while I was waiting for whoever to get there to open up so we could go in. I'm usually early. That's something I've always done, like for work. I'm always now I'm like 5 minutes early because I got the bike, but I usually get places 10 minutes early, just in case something happens in between and you know whatever. But I like being early. It's something I was raised with by my mom, and it's stuck with me, and I like it. Like it works. Like I like being early. Anyways, so yeah, so these hand warmers worked really well, at least when I was there waiting, you know, but they were in pain, you know, by the time I got there. Yeah, so hopefully the thing I ordered will work well. We'll see. I don't know. I've already invested a bit into my bike, just different little things, and a lot of it for the temperature, but yeah, a little bit of an investment into stuff to ride. and it's cool. I love it. It's so much fun, man. It's so much. My ride home right now made me want to go ride more in the snow. I was like, I don't even want to come. I want to just go ride in the snow right now. But I don't want to push it. I don't want to, I don't want to make my battery get wet when it doesn't need to get wet. That's the main thing. I mean, I could go ride just without the battery. Like I could do that. I could just go go for a ride. Just thought about it. Like, you know what? I might do that. I don't know. I might. We'll see, man. I love it. I love the just, it's so pretty, man. Snow is so pretty, and it's always been funny to me. Like the people that normally live in it tend to hate it. When I talk to them online, have friends that were with me in California that they grew up in snow and stuff like that. They moved to Cali. And everybody that's normally lived in it hates it but look, man, I don't think I'll ever hate snow. I don't think I will ever. I hate the temperature. Freezing cold weather is nuts, man. But I love snow. I love snow. It's so freaking cool, man. So far I'm really happy with my bike too. The bike is epic, man. It's epic. Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful because like I wouldn't be walking in the snow, and I love the snow. I want to go play in the snow, but I'm like, I don't want to go be freezing, So it's nice to be able to ride through it, like that's cool. Anyways, that's all. I just wanted to share that. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.